What's up, YouTube? What's up, guys? So, this video is sponsored by Old Country Kitchenware. Guys, Old Country Kitchenware has the square tube cake pan right here. I always wanted to get a square pan, and I just never got around to it. So today, she got one. Okay, we're gonna do a square cake in this pan, not homemade but using box cake mix, but we're gonna elevate it to another level. You saw the thumbnail. The cake came out so good, y'all. Now this square tube cake pan, it holds up to 18 cups of batter. This is a mile high cake. Okay, so this cake is gonna be 9 inch by 9 inch by 4.5 inches. Okay, guys, so we're going to start off with Duncan Hines butter cake mix. And I'm using two Duncan Hines butter cake mix because, again, like I said, this is a deep tube cake pan. And it's very deep. So if you're going to use box cake mix, I would suggest to use two boxes. You don't have to use Duncan Hines. Any kind would do. Again, this is a butter. This is a banana rum cake. And you saw I had that banana jello mix. I'm going in with not 6 but 7 eggs. Anytime you're using a cake box, you can always, take it up. Use that extra egg. Now, since we all know eggs are expensive, instead of using 8 eggs, I just went on and put 1 extra eggs, and I've used 7. Look, I dropped some shells. We gotta get the shells out, honey. Can't be having nobody crunching on those shells in this cake. Okay, so again, instead of using 8 eggs, I use 7. And everything, even just like when you're making a homemade cake, everything is at room temperature when you're baking. So my eggs is at room temperature. My milk will be at room temperature, and my butter. So this is a butter cake. So I needed 2 sticks of unsalted butter right here. So I used 2 sticks of unsalted butter with this cake, and the butter has to be at room temperature. My butter was out for 24 hours, so it's most definitely at room temperature. And this is my rum. I use 1 teaspoon of rum, but guys, use 2 teaspoons of rum, because that 1 teaspoon of banana is strong, and it kind of I really didn't taste the rum. I was like, nope, you know what? So I added some more rum to my batter, because when I tasted my batter, it was just so saturated with the banana. I said, you know what? It's going to be 2 teaspoons of rum, 1 teaspoon of banana extract, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And now I'm going in with 1 cup of milk. This recipe is going to take a cup and a half of whole milk. Again, box cake mix calls for water. If you don't have milk, by all means, go ahead and use water. But my mom taught me, may she rest in peace, from the time I started baking box cakes, we always put in an extra egg, we always added vanilla, and we always use milk. It just takes the cakes, just make it taste like a cake from a bakery. And who knows, the way the cakes be tasting, shoot, bakery may be using box cakes right now. I ain't gonna do that to nobody. But at the end of the day, everything don't have to be homemade. You want something to be quick and easy, but real taste really good. So yeah, so I'm just blending this up. You don't want to over blend. But like I said, end up using a cup and a half. That's the rest of my milk. And everything is at room temperature, guys. Just remember, everything is at room temperature. So end up using a cup and a half of milk. And the recipe is easy. Besides the extra ingredients, you're going to follow and bake as instructed on the box. 350 for how many minutes it say. And throw in the extra eggs, throw in some flavors just to make it really pop, to make it really taste good. And yeah, and you on your way to a nice dessert. Now, y'all know I ain't supposed to have cake in my life, so don't nobody come for me in the comments because I had to taste the cake. But y'all know I'm on a different journey, trying to get things under control and trying to stay away from cake. And this is when I added the extra rum. I didn't put that on camera. When I tasted my batter, I tasted more of the banana. I smelled more of the banana. And so I said, you know what? Let me add another teaspoon of rum. So again, we're doing 1 teaspoon of banana extract, 2 teaspoons of rum, and we're doing 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now, guys, this right here is called goop. I made this goop. what I don't recommend using this goop with this pan, because goop is just made out of flour, um, shortening, and vegetable oil. And what happens is that the goop, once it starts melting in the pan, it's gonna leak because it's like a oil. So grease your pan the way you would normally grease it for this particular type of pan. I will, but yeah, because you don't want it the oil and the grease drop down through the pan. But other than that, the cake did not leak. The cake did not leak at all. So I really love this pan. It held all my batter. Now y'all, at this point, I forgot this not a round pan. This is not a round cake pan. It's square. So I had to take my time and putting it in here, but getting it all in there evenly and things like that. But yeah, I love the cake pan. Like I said, the batter didn't leak out. The goop did. So flour your pan the way you would normally flour, or spread with some baking spray. Because I'm saying the release was still good with the goop. The release was still good. This cake pan worked flawlessly. I had no issue with her at all. So what I'm about to do now, because you know with every cake, even this box cake, you gotta get them air bubbles out. You want a nice even cake. So go ahead, tap that counter, get them air bubbles out. Okay, guys, she came out good. Look how high she is. Yes, I love everything about it. Again, let me just tell you, this cake holds up to 18 cups of batter. So if you are doing a homemade cake, you know what you could do with this. It comes in two pieces. This is a family-owned, operated business. Yeah, this square tube cake pan is good for angel food cakes and pound cakes and so much more. Now, this spatula came with it. Now, I love this spatula, so you get a spatula with it. And what I did is that I used the spatula to push down the sides of the cakes to give me a nice smooth release from it. So yeah, so look at the pickup. It was still hot. It was still hot, y'all. I was like, wait a minute, this pan's still hot, girl. What you think you're doing? And so that was me. It wasn't the pan. This thing is still hot, so I had to wait to really cool off. I don't know what I was thinking. And look at the lift. Oh, look at her. In and out. Use that spatula to release the sides. And honey, look at that. This came out so good, so pretty. I love the square pan. I think I'll be doing square pound cakes. So you know how to make me a homemade pound cake. And guess what? We've been waiting on this pan because I had this square plate forever. Now I have a reason to really use it when baking. And guys, this is still really hot. I was so scared because it was still hot at the bottom. And I said, girl, why you ain't grabbed nothing? So I hurry up and flip this thing. And look how she came off. Girl, look at that. That cake looked good. Y'all, everything about this cake, this square tube cake pan is going to be in the description below. Okay? Let's make our frosting. Now I'm making a quick glaze, y'all. And I'm using about a cup of powdered sugar. I'm adding a drop of all those flavors. Some banana rum, some banana, some rum, some vanilla. I'm adding in all those flavors that I use. And I'm just using, you can use either some milk or some water. I'm using some bottled water. It doesn't have to be bottled water. Ask my son to give me some water. He went and got me a bottle of water. I thought he was going to give me a cup of water. So I'm using a bottle of water. Again, you don't have to. And yeah, and so it's that easy. You just want your powdered sugar glaze to have some flavor to it. Again, if you don't have, everybody got water. If you don't have milk, you could go ahead and use water. I ran out of milk, so I used water, and which it doesn't make a difference. They're making a glaze, we're really not making a frosting. So I'm just stirring it up so I get all the lumps and humps out of here, because you want a nice smooth glaze to pour over your cake. Okay, guys, I got my glaze nice and smooth, and here we go. We'll go ahead now. I'm going to end up doing this again because I thought it was going to be enough, but honey, this cake is huge, okay? That's the cake you have at Thanksgiving when you having like 20 guests. I love this cake pan. This is going to be my new pound cake, so y'all know I'm going to do it. I don't want to do any cake in my life, but this pan is going to make me put some cake in my life, okay? So at the end of the day, I end up doing more glaze this glaze wasn't enough, so I had to, you know what, girl, you gotta do some more glaze. You know, I don't know why I was trying to be stingy with the glaze on this cake, but yeah, so I ended up doing some more. Here we go for the second go around, y'all. And this turned out perfect. I used more powdered sugar. I made it more like not as runny, so you could really see the glaze on it. Yeah, when I say this cake was glazed, this cake was glazing, okay? And so what I'm gonna do now at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and take my spatula and just scrape all the glaze out, and then we're just gonna make sure we get it all down on the sides and things like that. Now, guys, I could say the flavor of this cake was so good you didn't even need the glaze, but I just felt like, you know what, I'm glazing her up, you know, because all cakes don't need to have glaze. It just, it could hold its own. But this really wasn't about the cake. This was all about using this square tube cake pan, and it was a good use. I am so glad that I'm adding this to my collection of bakeware. I'm gonna have to give me another one to have two. It's always good to have two. And again, everything about this cake pan is going to be in the description below. The link to the site where you could get yours is going to be in the description below. Yeah, and you know, Valentine's Day's coming up. You know, you got all these different holidays coming up. Or you just want to just make a cake. You got Easter coming up, Mother's Day, Father's Day. This will be a good pan to use if you plan on having like people over for dinner, a large gathering. Tell me, this cake will cut off just enough for everyone. Okay, I don't know about the y'all, but this cake gotta get up out my house, okay? It gotta get up my house. So family and friends, if you're watching, please come and get a slice. She got to go. But you can't have my pan, okay? That gotta stay. But yeah, guys, so I hope you guys like this video. Yeah, that was so sticky. But it turned out so good, y'all. It turned out really well. I'm gonna use this to cut the cake with. My banana rum cake. Look at that. Look at that. We're gonna sit it right here because she ain't had nothing ready. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified. When I say it is good, it is good. I ain't dirtying up no dishes. Yeah, come for me. I already know. Y'all want some? How rude. Everything about this cake pan, this is a cake tube pan, is going to be in the description below, y'all. Get y'all's. Again, like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified.